lost in the accident, and that a bit of her kept searching for. On the morning of the interview, she'd gazed up at the Primrose Hill house's sugar-white stucco and cascading wisteria, and immediately known this was it. Her new home. Her new family. She could feel a tingling sensation, like the first fizz of pins and needles, as she'd knocked on the smart front door, her heart scudding beneath her best blouse that didn't look best in London. Now it's her second best blouse, packed in the boot along with any other clothes, practical, plain, rarely long enough in the arm or leg, she could salvage after the fire that tore through that London house last weekend. Even after the long cycle at the laundrette, her clothes still whiff of smoke. Rita glances across at Jeannie in the passenger seat. Wearing a new haul from Harrods, she's defiantly dressed for London, clutching a black patent handbag as if for dear life. She looks fragile, upset. Her recent weight loss is painfully obvious in that cream crepe skirt, tightly belted, another hole in, a powder blue cashmere twin set, and a white silk scarf, wound like a bandage around her stem-like neck. And she's wearing those sunglasses again, the tortoiseshell ones, with lenses big as Hartley's jam jar lids. She always puts on after a night of crying. Jeannie hadn't wanted to leave Claridge's. Rita neither. She'd never stayed anywhere she hadn't had to make her own bed before. The maid wouldn't even let her help with the tricky mattress corners. Jeannie certainly hadn't wanted to come here. Monstrous place. Walter's way of isolating me, she'd whispered last night, out of the children's earshot. Peering up at Foxcote Manor now, Rita can't help but wonder if Jeannie was right. When she'd started the job, everything was different. She remembers Jeannie reading her reference out loud on the day of the interview, her slowly spreading smile, her hands stroking the sun of her heavily pregnant belly. Loyal, kind, and adored by my 4 children, brilliant with the baby, not so good on laundry or cooking, very nervous driver, would hire again in a heartbeat. Walter hadn't been particularly interested. A reserved man, with a carefully curated moustache, sinewy in a slim-cut brown suit, he'd been friendly but businesslike. After briskly shaking her hand, he excused himself, blew some kisses in the direction of the kids, and rushed out to work, trailing the faint soapy scent of shaving foam. Back then, Walter was happy to leave all of the domestic decisions to his wife. He ran the Harrington glass headquarters in Mayfair, not the family house. And he seemed perfectly nice. If there were warning signs, Rita didn't spot them. She'd never wanted a job so much. Carefully lowering herself to the sofa, she'd laced her hands together tightly so they couldn't fidget, and crossed her untidy legs at the ankle, tucking them in, as Nan had instructed. "It'll make you look smaller, love. More feminine." She tried very hard not to smile too much, to appear a serious professional, older than her 20 years, worthy of such a plum post. Jeannie had called the then 5-year-old Teddy into the drawing room. "He's delicious," she said. And he was. Rita had to fight the urge to ruffle his curls. Then 12-year-old Hera appeared, less obviously delicious and, as if to compensate for this, offering a slice of cake. Jeannie called it patisserie, on a bone china plate with a minuscule silver fork. As Hera shyly explained how to pronounce her posh name, Hera. Rita took the plate. It tipped, and the cake, in horrifying slow motion, slid off and landed in the deep pile carpet next to the potted aspidistra. Hera giggled. Rita caught her eye, then disastrously giggled too, and tried to disguise it as a coughing fit. Obviously she'd blown it spectacularly, and would be sent packing back to Nan's bungalow, cloying small-town life, and her own ugly secret. But that giggle, Jeannie told her afterwards, had won her the job. She wanted the baby to have a fun young nanny, not some cross old boot. But the baby never heard Rita's giggle.